Hello everyone, Glass Half Dead here to talk to you about kill team rules. In this video, I want to fully explain non-reciprocal shooting, how to use it, how it affects the game, give a few examples and really discuss the purpose of it in kill team. The ultimate conceit of this video is that the very core engine of kill team is being able to stand in the open and through clever positioning, not get shot. And subsequently, have the entire enemy team unable to be seen, but through solid movement flank them and get a shot. The reliance on terrain and orders is paramount to this game. I do intend to keep the actual rules explanations as concise as possible, and it will come first. So if you just want to know the rule, no need to wait. First things first, if you're not confident on the line of sight rules in general, I'd recommend pausing the video here and checking out my standard line of sight video. I honestly think it's pretty much the best one out there. The explanation is dry AF, because, rules. But then there's lots of examples. It's a fun little training course thing with Dakka Boy. Now that you're confident with line of sight, non-reciprocal shooting is using obscurity provided by heavy terrain alongside the way cover lines are drawn to make sure that your operative can shoot the target without being at risk of return fire from guard or overwatch, or if the target survives, making them spend an action to move before they can shoot. So many words just to mean one-way shooting. Let's take a look at this diagram. Remember that a cover line is drawn from a single point on the shooter's base to every point on the target's base. In reality, this means you will be drawing your cover line from one side of your base. So, if you are 2 inches away from heavy terrain, you can creep past the point where you can draw a cover line to someone. This is clear, all good. But, if we then draw their cover line back to us, see that this new cover line, even when drawn from the most optimal position, will cross the heavy terrain and so our model will be obscured. Non-reciprocal shooting. Before we continue this video, I do have to provide a quick subscriber-only benefit, and it's the wholesome double hello. That double hello is your reminder that someone out there, even if it's only me, cares about you. Drop a like and a comment, and remember, it's only for subscribers. If you like my frivolous content, consider checking out my Patreon. The only reason I can do crazy things like go to Kill Team Open and fly out to play on tabletop to give you literally the highest quality Kill Team content on the net. Also, you get extra content like digital goodies and stuff. And let's be honest, Kill Team content is thin on the ground. So, in a sense, my Patreon is mandatory for real Kill Team lovers. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, on with the video. Okay, that's the rule. Now, a common complaint I see about this mechanic is that it can slow the game down and turn what should be a small and fast game into a game that is overly precise and takes too long. So I recently recorded a game, and I am pulling a clip from the middle where the dreaded non-reciprocal shooting occurs, and I want to show you the reality of how this looks.
I can shoot you, you can't shoot back?
Yeah, it's good. Now, that's when both players are on the same page. But here's a possibly slightly more realistic clip. Yeah, so if you move just past your barricade, I think you'll have him.
Okay, I'm just going to move to there.
Yep. Okay, sweet, go for it. A little bit longer, a little bit of discussion. Had to whip out the laser line and shuffle the model a bit until both were happy. Still under 30 seconds. Let's look at the third way this could go. The nightmare scenario. The way we all think it will go down if we use it against someone who is casual.
I can get you.
Bollocks. In fairness, that's just what I say at the end of every game. If you can't tell, the rules explanations are done now, and I want to have a little talk about why non-reciprocal shooting is the way Kill Team is meant to be played. Why so many people are against it and, hopefully, apply a soothing balm upon those enraged fires. Firstly though, I am sane, despite evidence to the contrary, and think everyone should just play however they want. Literally, who cares? Anyone that gets worked up by this, either way, probably needs to just, chill out. It's not worth it at all. If you have a casual group, that prefers to move models and just roll some dice, then that's awesome. Not every single movement has to be a philosophical debate. I get it. Non-reciprocal shooting is super easy to house rule out of the game. You know, whatever, just both models involved in the shooting action have to be on an engage order. Or, you know, better yet for the casuals to also get around weird toe-in shenanigans, instead of drawing cover lines from a single point on your base to all parts of the enemy base, just draw it from all parts of your base to all parts of the enemy base. You know, there you go. House rule done. NRS gone. And everyone gets it. We all know that non-reciprocal shooting is a feels bad when it first happens to you. And let's be honest, it's even more prevalent in Into the Dark now. So, you want to stop feels bad moments. You do you. Slay kings. Beast mode. Get up and flex on your reciprocal shooting grind set. Proviso out of the way, let's talk about what Kill Team is and why non-reciprocal shooting is how the game probably should be played. Also, a slightly self-aggrandizing discussion of where content creators went wrong in their early videos discussing line of sight. Kill Team is a game of two halves, movement and attacking. Both of these have been designed to work together via the order system, but they can be looked at separately. You deploy and place your entire team on conceal. They now have the ultimate defensive buff. You cannot be shot, except for a vantage point. That's the easiest way to get around a team on conceal, isn't it? How else do you counter a team that refuses to go engaged? Well, you flank them. You run an operative around their cover or to within 2 inches of them. And no one questions that, do they? Everyone is okay with the idea that to shoot a model on conceal, you have to flank them. Otherwise, why play with the order system at all, right? Like, what's better than a 2-up armor save and a 5-up feel no pain? Positioning so that you literally cannot be shot at all. Being on a conceal and within 1 inch of terrain is your biggest form of defensive buff. It's core to how the game plays. Is that good or bad? When you roll dice, anything can happen. There are statistical probabilities, but we've all fluffed a roll. We've all charged and rolled 5 dice hitting on 3s and only got 1 hit. It happens. As soon as you choose to roll dice, you have no control over what happens. Then a simple dice off, in theory, the best player in the world could be beaten by someone playing their first ever game. But you have 100% control over your movement. Where you place your model defines how many victory points you score, how much damage it can take, and how much damage it can deal. There is no random movement in Kill Team, unlike certain other 40k games. You can genuinely win Kill Team just through movement. But not all teams are created equal. How can a loyal guardsman of the Imperium go toe-to-toe against a demonically infused warrior of the Dark Gods? If you're just rolling dice, he stands no real chance. The Chaos Marine can flank him. How does a guardsman go toe-to-toe? He plays to his strengths. Numbers. You wait until the Chaos player has made his moves, and there'll be strong moves, no doubt, but he can still attack with Overwatch, he's still dangerous, but his movement is done. Without movement, the core of the game, the biggest offensive and defensive ability, you might as well just flip a coin. But with movement, something that is entirely within your control, you can beat any faction with any faction. Because you're a better player, and you can beat what the dice should allow you to do, even when they skew. And where did content creators go wrong? We separated non-reciprocal shooting from line of sight. We talked about it like a side effect, an accident, a thing that had to be dealt with. It was a footnote, a different video, a mistake to be rectified, or just completely forgotten. It wasn't a skill to be mastered, it was a rule to abuse. It should have been talked about in the same breath. It should have been, here's visibility, here's drawing cover lines, and hey, look at this, you can shoot the enemy without getting shot back. Is GW hitting the pipe too hard or just right? I didn't know, none of us did. We covered rules to help people learn, but created an additional barrier to entry. Every game has a barrier to entry. First, you learn the rules. It's always an ordeal, no way around that. And then you think you know what's going on. You roll some dice, you're safe within 1 inch, you play some ploys. But then the advanced game kicks in, and step 1 is non-reciprocal shooting, getting shot without being able to shoot back. That's where the advanced game begins. And the first time it happens, it feels bad. It stops some people from playing the game. Worse yet, it confines certain players to defining themselves as casuals because they didn't know about non-reciprocal shooting, because they weren't taught it alongside the rest of line of sight. It's a shame to lose them. A casual casualty in the great march of progress to a better game. A system better than the antiquated 40k system, one mired in legacy issues from a time before, as everyone roundly agrees, games got good. Non-reciprocal shooting is no different to moving your model to within 2 inches of the enemy to negate their cover, or moving around the cover so your cover line doesn't cross the terrain. It's a tool, and it's one that you have complete control over. And you know what? So does your opponent. They can stop you from getting that non-reciprocal shooting. Once they learn the rule, they can stop the rule. You can change the paradigm. You have 100% control over your movement. So go where you want in Kill Team and understand that, just like in life, once you know the rules, once you know the system, once you're ready to play the game, you have the power. If you've made it to the end of the video, I was going to make a joke about Dackerboy returning, but if you can't tell, due to this ASMR version of whatever this video is, my voice is shot, lads. So I'm just going to say thank you for watching, and a big triple hello to all of you, whilst Dackerboy's on the screen. Man down. Have a good one. Goodbye.